The story of King Shailendra and the donkey's wisdom. In the kingdom of Kalapath, there was a king named Shailendra, a ruler known for his fairness and intelligence. He had a prosperous kingdom, yet there was one thing that troubled him: his inability to maintain consistent focus and perseverance, especially during tough times. Despite his wisdom, he often found himself easily distracted or overwhelmed by challenges, struggling to carry out the long-term tasks that required patience and persistence. One day, while walking through the royal garden, King Shailendra met a wise old sage named Ujjwal. The sage had a reputation for providing practical, down-to-earth wisdom, often based on the simplest of things in nature. Seeing the king deep in thought, Sage Ujjwal approached him and asked, "Your Majesty, what weighs so heavily on your mind?" King Shailendra sighed, "I am troubled by my inability to stay committed to my tasks. When challenges arise, I often become tired and distracted. I want to be as strong and persistent as my kingdom requires me to be, but I struggle with focus and perseverance, especially when faced with difficulties." Sage Ujjwal smiled kindly. "Your Majesty, perhaps the answer lies in the most humble of creatures, the donkey. If you observe its qualities, you will learn 3 important lessons about perseverance and resilience." "The donkey?" asked the king, surprised. "How can a simple animal teach me the strength I seek?" The sage nodded. "Let me tell you. The 3 lessons of the donkey." Sage Ujjwal began his story. In ancient times, there was a donkey named Gajendra who lived in a small village. The villagers relied on him for many tasks, carrying heavy loads, working in the fields, and transporting goods from one place to another. Despite his humble nature and heavy burdens, Gajendra never complained. He had 3 remarkable qualities that helped him endure everything with remarkable patience. Endurance despite fatigue. Although the donkey was tired from carrying heavy loads, he never stopped working. He would continue walking, even when his body was aching, until the task was completed. In life, we often face difficult situations that drain us, but we must learn to push forward, just as the donkey does. It is not enough to quit when tired. Perseverance is the key to overcoming obstacles. King Shailendra pondered this. He realized that his tendency to give up when he was tired or frustrated had held him back. He needed to learn to push through exhaustion and stay focused on the task at hand. Unfazed by external conditions, cold and heat, the donkey was indifferent to the harshest conditions. Whether it was the scorching heat of summer or the freezing cold of winter, Gajendra continued his work without complaint. The donkey's resilience to the changing weather conditions was remarkable. He did not let external factors distract him from his goal. Similarly, in life, we must learn not to be easily swayed by difficult circumstances. Challenges, whether physical or emotional, should not prevent us from pursuing our objectives. King Shailendra reflected on the many times he had been disheartened by external factors, whether it was political unrest, poor weather for farming, or even personal setbacks. He realized that he needed to be more resilient in the face of challenges, just as the donkey was. Contentment with little. Despite his hard labor, the donkey never asked for more. He was content with the food and rest he received, never complaining about his situation. He did not desire wealth or luxury. He was satisfied with fulfilling his role. This contentment allowed him to keep working diligently without distraction. In life, we must learn to find satisfaction in what we have and not always yearn for more. It is this contentment that brings peace and focus. The king smiled, understanding this lesson deeply. His kingdom was wealthy, and his people were prosperous, yet he often found himself desiring more land, more wealth, more power. The donkey's contentment reminded him that true happiness lay in appreciating what he already had. The transformation of King Shailendra. King Shailendra took the lessons of the donkey to heart. He started by cultivating endurance. Whenever he felt tired or overwhelmed, whether from long hours of work or difficult decision-making, he reminded himself of the donkey's unwavering commitment. He learned to push through fatigue and continue his tasks with determination, no matter how exhausting they seemed. He also adopted the quality of resilience to external conditions. When faced with difficult circumstances, such as harsh weather, political unrest, or even personal challenges, the king no longer allowed these factors to sway his judgment or interfere with his duties. He became more focused on the bigger picture, continuing his work regardless of external difficulties. Finally, King Shailendra embraced contentment with what he had. Instead of constantly striving for more wealth, more land, or more power, he began to appreciate the peace, prosperity, and loyalty of his kingdom. He took time to enjoy the simple things in life, the love of his people, the beauty of his land, and the joy of helping others. This contentment brought him a sense of peace and purpose that he had been missing. The moral of the story. The story of King Shailendra teaches us the timeless wisdom of the donkey. From the donkey, we can learn 3 important qualities: endurance despite fatigue. Life will always have its challenges and moments of exhaustion, but we must continue to push forward and complete our tasks, no matter how difficult they may seem. Unfazed by external conditions, whether we face external pressures like poor weather, difficult circumstances, or emotional setbacks, we should remain steadfast and focused on our goals. Contentment with little, true happiness comes from appreciating what we have, not from desiring more. Contentment allows us to find peace and focus, and to work diligently without distractions. By adopting these qualities, we can lead lives of perseverance, resilience, and fulfillment, just as King Shailendra did, transforming his kingdom into one of strength and peace. Thanks for watching. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to give it a like, share it with others who might benefit, and subscribe to the channel for more valuable content like this. Hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. See you in the next video.